Massacre on the beat!
You seem to be really extreme with your actions. Like when you left your one job at I think you said a graphic design company, and then you went to the next one. You just basically left, and then because look, a lot of people, they're gonna look for another job before they leave their job, or they're gonna wait to become profitable at trading before quitting their job. But it seemed like you were more all or nothing. Like, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to do this. I'm done. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, what is it about you that makes you just kind of double down so much and never hedge your bets kind of?
My wife has always said to me, you could never work for someone, could you? And I said, no, never. And I just couldn't get on with managers. I don't know whether it's because I'm very, I like things the way I like them. I'm a firm believer that we're all equal at the end of the day. Doesn't matter who you are in a company. Doesn't matter, whether you're white, black, Chinese, whether I'm a junior, whether he's a director. At the end of the day, right, everyone is equal. And I don't expect to be spoken to like a piece of shit. It's as simple as that. And I wouldn't expect to talk to somebody like a piece of shit. My dad brought me up very strictly and always said to me, look, don't be a pushover, but always say please and thank you. Always have good manners. They cost nothing. And the jobs I was in, I was treated like a piece of shit. And I didn't like it. I didn't want that life. I didn't want people talking to me, like crap.
Was your dad into entrepreneurship or anything like that?
Yeah, he's actually got his own business. He runs an agricultural firm. I went to try it one day and I didn't like it. That's why I've never gone to work for him. But he's a grafter. He's a hard worker, and that's what I
think that's where you got it from, huh?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. But I could never work for someone, and I knew that from when I first started working. I just had to do it. We have to do things in life sometimes, don't we? To pay for things or whatever.
I mean, you need to have a means to your end. And we have responsibility. Like I have a condo, a partner, you had kids, a wife, and you have to do what you have to do at some point. I mean, you didn't want to get up and, keep showing up to that job, but that responsibility it ain't going nowhere. So
no, the only reason why I walked out of that one job, right, was because I had abuse off the people there, off the hierarchy, if you like. The guy used to come in and he smoked cigars. And I'm not a smoker, never have been. And he used to come in and thought it was funny, like take a drag off the cigar and blow it in my face, and put chewing gum.
That's disrespectful.
Put chewing gum on your desk and ask you.
You get shot where I'm from doing that. Yeah,
I'll never forget. He put chewing gum on my desk, right, and asked me to take it off the desk and put it in the bin.
What? Yeah.
They were horrible, horrible people, and I'm not making this shit up. There was an instance, and I'll never forget this. Never forget this. And I was so close to knocking him out. Basically, he asked me to do a job, right? And when someone asks me to do a job, I'll do it. Anyway, it was owned by three brothers, three Irish guys, and the next brother would come to me and say, do this. And I'd be like, okay, I'm just doing that for your brother. No, you need to do this now. He can wait. And then he would come back and go, why haven't you done that? And then you'd be like, well, your brother told me. And he picked up a plastic tray where you put all the paperwork in and threw it against the wall. And it missed my head by millimeters. I felt the air, go past, my head.
Yeah, I might have went to jail that day for whipping my boss.
Yeah. And, but all I was thinking about was my wife, kids. I thought,
right.
And I was that depressed. It puts you into a big black hole, yeah? And I just couldn't take any more. I had to go downstairs sometimes to breathe, and I remember the printers downstairs, because it was graphic design, all computers at the top, and it was printers on the bottom. And the press guy said, I feel for you, because down here we don't see them.
You couldn't go to HR or nothing like that, huh? Or you weren't even thinking
that they were the HR.
No way.
Yeah. They were pieces of shit, basically. And that's when I just got up one day, walked out, rang my wife, and I've never felt so good. Honestly, it was brilliant. Loved it. Smiling, and I was happy. It was like an instant happiness. And that means more to me, right, than money.
Right. That freedom.
That freedom. That,
like you said, I had to go outside to breathe. That is
breathe. Yeah.
Anxiety,
no one should be put through that. Yeah. No one.
You're
should be
speaking
put through
literally and metaphorically.
Yeah. But from what I experienced, okay, when I set my own business up, doing what I was doing, I made sure none of that happened in my company. Because I've been there. I know what it's like, and I know.
So you were treating your employees with the utmost, like equals.
Utmost respect, absolutely. Everyone deserves to be treated with the utmost respect, in my opinion. Everyone does.
So you learned from one business what not to do, how not to treat people, and when you went to your own business, even though it didn't continue, you still got a business off the ground that was profitable. And I know it wasn't, profits to your liking, but that's still a big accomplishment to even get your business to the point where you're hiring staff. Like, that shows that you were able to put that machine together. Just like with trading, we put together our trading systems and machines. It's no different than, it is different, but it's similar, blueprints in business. So just take note of that, everyone, because this is how you can, turn your thoughts into things, turn those ideas into a actual money-making thing.
Yeah, and from my experiences, I know it's completely different industries from Forex, but I think it's given me that platform, where I'm really like, I think losing all that money was just a mistake, just being dumb, stupid, not understanding, not going to the right people, etc. It's not out of spite. It's not out of, Forex has a black, dirty mark and, I hate it. It was my fault, right? Where when I walked out that other job, that wasn't my fault. I weren't prepared to put myself through that. I'm not going to do that. That's why I persisted with Forex more than anything. And this is a job that I'll do till, we go under, if that's the right word we want to say. But,
okay, so what does a typical day look like for Neo?
Okay, my typical day, and I've got a bit lazy of late, is I'll get up about 6:30. I'll look at the charts, make a cup of tea, English tea. Look at my charts, find my strategy, place that trade, and I'm gone. And I have the rest of the day to myself, where I'm doing things around the house, spending time with my kids, spending time with my wife. My wife works till 3:00, so when she comes home, we can go out something to eat. There's just no pressure, Obviously, that there are scenarios where a trade's going to come in at a certain time.
But you have this. Do you have some, like, how can I put this? It is a pressure in that that if you don't get up and you don't trade today, business ain't happening, money ain't coming in. So every day there is this pressure to show up. Or how would you describe that?
I wouldn't call it pressure. It's not pressure once you're consistent, because it's like a job, isn't it? You start a new job, somebody tells you how to do this and how to do that, and over a period of time, it becomes second nature, doesn't it? It becomes like, okay, cool. But there's one thing with Forex that I'll never, ever disrespect, is you always learn something new every day. Every day with Forex. It's the only job I've ever known where I'm not bored.
I definitely learned something this morning from a trade I didn't take. I took lessons from it, from a trade I actually didn't take. So.
Yeah. And I think that's why I'm not bored of the job, because I know I'm always learning.
Do you ever feel
And
like you don't want to show up though? Like, man, I should take today off, or you may be getting a
oh yeah,
time where
yeah.
you're like, no, I didn't took 3 days off. I'm getting lazy, or
Yeah, I did a trade a couple of weeks ago and I earned nearly 50%. And the way I look at it, I think, oh God, that sorted me out for a
wait,
long,
hold on.
long
So you
time.
made 50% on a trade. Tell the people how much you risked to obtain that 50%.
How much? What? Sorry,
How much did you risk on that trade where you made?
1%. 1%.
So you had a 1 to 50 risk reward ratio.
Yeah, yeah.
All
And
right, continue.
that trade took about, I think, about 2 days. And when you earn such a huge, right, it's a huge amount of money to me. I feel like, cool. Well, that's in the bank now, so I ain't really got to get up tomorrow now, have I? You know, it's about not being greedy. Does that make sense?
Right.
It's like the lottery. A lot of people say, oh, I want to win 50 million. I'll be like, I'd like to win just 5 million, and that'll do me. It'll give me a comfortable life. It'll pay things off, blah, 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 blah. And I've still got a shitload of cash in the bank. I'm not bothered, if I win 5 million quid rather than 50. Because I'm not a greedy person.
Do you ever fear or think about, what if I lose this skill, or what if I lose my ability to trade or anything like that? What would I do?
No, not at all. I just hit the screens. I'm just fearless. I just do not care, because I feel that comfortable trading. But don't get me wrong, I've had a couple of days where I've lost. It's a bit like, are
you planning for like an exit strategy though, kind of, or like a long term, maybe like 10 years from now or 20 years, you don't have to day trade anymore? Is there
long term for me? This is, at the minute I've got properties that I want to pay off, and once they're paid, I don't think I'll trade as much. I think I'll go more higher time frame than anything. And me and my wife, we've always wanted to travel the world, so that can become a reality as far as I'm concerned. 2 years ago, not a chance. I wouldn't even be thinking of traveling. I wouldn't even be thinking of traveling 10 miles because I couldn't afford it,
Right. And the beauty,
crazy.
like all the scammers say, make money from your phone on the beach. You can do it, but you really can't. So it's beautiful. When you guys go on your trip, you say, babe, you stay in the hotel suite in the penthouse. I'm going down to the business center, place a few trades. Trip paid for. Next trip paid for. So we can design our lives.
Yeah, I did a trade, funny enough, last week. It was a big trade. And we wanted to go back to America, Florida. I went home. Well, I tried from home, but I come out, I tried from room. I said, right, that's Florida paid for. It's done. It's dusted. If I did that, I would never even dream of that beforehand. And to have that power, right, where you could just do that, why would you want to change that in your life? Why? Why would I want to go and get a job and go and work for someone else that's going to treat me like shit? No, that's not going to happen. But, a bit like the wife, she's got a nice car now, and she's loving life. But you know what? To this day, she is still skeptical about it. Believe it or not, she's still skeptical.
Sure, it's good to have some reservation. I bet that skepticism have her tucking away rainy day money, which is never a bad idea.
I think so. She's a bit like, will this last forever? I'm like, I don't know. They could turn off.
Right. You need someone to think like that, because exactly you have to think like that, because those people that say, oh, this is just going to be forever, this gravy train. And then when something happens, the reality hits and you're not prepared for it. But bro, what we have learned with market manipulation and understanding how the markets actually work is it transcends past Forex. Would they make a new trading instrument where, like I always say, if we can trade chickens against eggs, that cross, we'll still be able to see where, the order blocks are, where liquidity got trapped and where everyone's thinking one thing and we go the other way. So that's the beauty of being a psychological trader. We can even apply it to other markets. Like I always talk about in video game, virtual currency markets, and just in anything in, like the shoe culture, whatever it may be, these principles translate.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to go back to something. I won't name who it was, but quite some time ago, when I started really getting consistent and blah, 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 somebody put, "Can you train me?" on the groups. And the way I look at that is, that's not good enough to say, "Can you train me?" That's not enough. Show me your enthusiasm. Show me a chart. Show me something more than just, "Can you train me?" Question mark.
Right.
If you want it that bad, and I'm probably going to dig my own grave a bit here, but if someone come to me and said, "Look, I am proper struggling. This is what I'm doing. I think I'm doing it all wrong. Blah, 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 blah." That would incentivize me a little bit more, to help someone, because you don't get things given to you in this life. You don't. Human didn't give this to me. I had to fucking, work day and night to understand how he traded.
Mm-hmm. And you had to line our pockets a little. I definitely made some money off you on that boot camp. So
exactly, and I think the trouble with some traders today is they want everything put on a plate.
I think that's society in general, not even just trading, it's just everyone.
Yeah. Well, like the kids today, they just want to sit on a computer and
Those
get
kids
paid
today,
50 grand a year. That is just,
those kids and their NFTs,
Yeah. Shit don't work like you have to work hard for something, and I work damn hard in Forex. I wouldn't even like to put a price on, how long I was looking at videos and
I had a close friend the other day, and we were just talking about investment types, and I was just telling him about leverage trading, and I was talking about like sports betting and parlays and how there's no edge in it, basically. And he basically said, like, well, traders, he was like, "Why don't you get a real skill?" Like, he's in medical school, and he's like, "You're not even doing nothing. Why don't you get a real skill?" And I was like, "Dude, I do this every day. I study this. I'm putting in on this craft," and that is basically insulting, and I just say that to highlight that this is a skill that we work on every day. If, in our chat, Neil, every day you're posting your charts, you're posting whatever you're working on.
Yeah, always, and like I've always said in my group is we're trying to push things to the boundaries. We're trying to improve our trading, and make it even more easier. That's what life should give us.
Right. Just work to get more and more precise. Like you said that the other day, I think you're like precision. Everything is precision. And I was just looking at how my setups are so precise within the pip, and how I worked so hard to get there, and how before I really couldn't tell where price would go. But after all the work I've done, I can basically know where price will go, like, 3/4 out of the time. And it is because of that work I put in, and just constantly every week, just observing and back testing and, live testing. It's nothing like it, because you develop a sixth sense. Like humans, we're incredible. And when you focus your brain power, your intention, and get in tune with something like a market, the outcomes can be phenomenal, especially when you find ways to monetize it, whether you're just paying attention to social trends, or, that the Instagram algorithm that you study every day to learn how to market it, whether you're on the charts, no matter what, whether it's sports, it's just that mastering of your area, your field, and understanding all the subtle nuances and just the subtle differences. And that's what we call mastery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's it. And, you got the skill for life. No one can take that away from you.
Nope, no one. And I've made bank in the stock market. I know how to get in, just get in at the low and wait a few months, and I could, I'm up 100% on a stock, or cryptos up
Yeah.
10. Obviously we don't win them all, but
No.
what did Neo say? 1 to 50. Everything we do is predicated on proper risk management. So yeah.
Yeah,
That's always something.
exactly that. You can look. I've, I've lost 4 trades on a bounce, 4% down. I'm like, okay, and then next trade, bang. It's you done like a 25-hour trade or a 10-hour,
Mhm.
crazy returns.
Yep. But you had to sit there for 3 hours and take the 4
Yes,
losses
yeah,
with proper risk management and be
yeah,
patient. And that's what
patient.
hits a lot of
Ooh,
people. They're going to move that stop loss back. They're going to, they
yeah,
don't want to lose, but we
it's
understand it's not
I, th-
losing.
I think forex is a mental game. It tests how what you like mentally, to the brink of destruction. It's very clever, really, how they do it. Really clever, in fact. Well, once you understand it, you know you'll always have that aha moment in forex.
Mhm. Yep. And
Someone
even when
will,
you get it wrong, or, you're like, oh, they did this. I was a bit early, or there was more liquidity to the downside. They had to clear it out. So,
yeah,
we
that's
don't
it.
always understand it
Yeah,
in real time, but
yeah.
yeah.
We make mistakes in life, and we make mistakes in forex. But as long as you learn from them and don't repeat them mistakes, your trading will improve. It's
Yep.
as simple as that.
And it
It's as
will
simple as
always be a level of randomness to the market. So, we
yeah,
are prepared for that, no matter how much we have mastered order blocks and structure and traps. It is a living,
that's it.
breathing organism.
I've got an attitude of the algorithm will always change because so many people will get adjusted to smart money concepts, traps, and once the market makers get a sniff of that, they ain't going to want that. They're going to have to change it. They'll probably change it back to support and resistance.
But you know what won't change? Really? Human behavior, Hegelian
Exactly. Yeah.
dialectic. So
Yeah.
we just
The
have
way that.
to know the signs
Yeah.
that, keep understanding the footprints of the market maker as they
Yeah.
change their
Yeah.
shoes and their walking patterns, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. But
Uh,
no.
but I wanted to ask you a couple questions, and we'll get up out of here.
Yeah. Cool.
Some of these listeners, we'll talk for 3 hours, and we might. But so yeah, let me ask you this: what advice would you give to an aspiring, struggling, or wannabe trader? What's the biggest advice you would give to them?
Biggest advice would be if you if you want to get consistent and you want that help, don't have a massive ego. Be a normal person. Yeah, where people do want to help you and do want to get you to that level of a forex trader, because egotistic people don't get anywhere in life. I'm better than you attitude. People are not interested. If you genuinely like, man, I think I've got it, but I just need that extra little bit of help, ask for it. Ask for help, but don't be big-headed about it. Don't say you're the best trader in the world and this and this, because people start to dislike that. You've got to keep your feet on the ground. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. And there's nothing wrong with failure. We learn by failure, don't we?
Right.
It I think that's it really for me. I asked a lot of questions in GPG, but I wasn't egotistic. I wasn't a horrible person. you know and
Right.
I found that I got the answers I wanted, by being nice, by being respectful, and working as a team. I think that's important as well, working as a team. There's a few traders out there that don't work as a team. you think, well, okay, I'm not going to waste my time, with you. Why should I? I want to help someone that wants that help,
Right.
So
I know a lot of people that wish they were on our GBG UK team.
yeah,
So, but we're not accepting applicants right now. So,
not yet, but definitely in the future. Definitely in the future. The main thing was the UK room, and I spoke to Human about it. He said, you need to get them dudes trained up, because there's no point opening up a room and the administrators don't know how you trade. And he's right in what he's saying. And obviously that's what we're doing. And that's the plan first, to get everyone up to speed with the way I like to trade. So,
right.
because I might not be in that room one day and someone asks a question, and, I'm that type of person. I want to help, but I can't. Oh, can you answer that question because I'm not there, type of thing. So people need to understand your product, don't they?
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why UK rooms took quite some time so far. We're nearly there now, I think. We're nearly there, definitely.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking your teachings and I'm making them my own for sure.
Yeah.
So I've incorporated a lot of what I've learned from you into my own system and strategy. And I don't know if I'll personally teach this or even release it, but I'm grateful because it's allowed, me to just evolve in my own trading. And I think early on, I focused a bit too much on teaching others because I became basically a teacher when I was still breaking even. And I did help a lot of people in it. I would say it definitely helped me stay on the charts every day, show up every day, teach every week. But in helping others, it took away from me focusing on my trading. But so I look at the room as a refuge where I can shift into that student and colleague role. So I really appreciate the room, because in a lot of the other groups, I'm authoritative, I'm a leader, I'm a teacher. So it's a blessing for me to have that space. So I just want to say thanks.
Oh, no worries. I mean, I think the good thing about that room is we're all a team. No one's above anyone. We're all a team. You put ideas across to each other, throw charts up.
Right.
This is what that's doing, and this is what that's doing. And I love certain people in that room now are saying, oh, well, I think this is going to happen because of this. There was actually an instance the other day, actually, where this certain person said, oh, Neo, you need to watch these equal highs, dude, because of this, and this. I completely missed it.
Right.
And we all miss things. And I was like, dude, he's got me back. Yeah. That's what a trading room's about, isn't it? Working as a team, because we all miss things, don't we? Everyone misses things, and I was like, damn, he just saved me like 1% out of my account. So I didn't take that trade because of, a certain criteria. So stuff like that training, pays off, teaching people. So we all want to make money at the end of the day.
Right.
We don't want to be losing money. We all want to make money.
That's the difference. It's like I'm not saying you're holding the notch, but a lot of the industry is just about selling a course, and these people can't even actually trade. They just want to sell you a way to trade, or some system, some 99% strategy. You don't actually learn how to trade. And I mean, that's why I was saying it's refreshing the way we approach it. And we always talk about Forexia, y'all. We're not a cult, anything like that. But a lot of myself and my friends, like we started there, and we learned, basic principles about the market. Like really a bunch of secrets in the market were revealed to us. And even if we don't like trade the way or entryway that we were taught through Forexia, that knowledge alone is just, it makes you woke. So, that's why we're always, giving gratitude and mentioning that, guys. I just wanted to say that because people listening to the podcast are like, what is this Forexia thing? Is this some what are they trying to get us to join? But it just is what it is. So
yeah, absolutely. Definitely worth joining. 100% Forexia. Because I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for that.
Okay, so my next question for you is where do you get your inspiration from, or what gives you that fire inside to go on every day?
Um, I suppose seeing your parents, struggle through their lives, and then my other inspiration is my kids. I just want
Right.
them. I just want them to have a good life. I don't want them to struggle in life. I've been there. It's horrible. It's depressing. You're in a dark room. You don't know when that light is coming in. And this is why I gave this skill to my daughter, because I want her to have a good life. I don't want her worrying about bills. No one deserves that. I think that's what this world wants us to be, feared, right? Where we have to work nuts off for peanuts and pay our bills, and that's what they want.
Right.
That's the way I see the world. It's a rat race, isn't it? We're like ants, aren't we?
We're in the
You know,
matrix.
we're in the matrix, and I don't
We're
want
in
to be
those
in that matrix.
pods. You had to get your ass
Yeah.
out that pod.
I
Dylan
want.
was Morpheus.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But I don't want that. That's not for me. That's not my world. I've done it. I've done it for 20 years, and it didn't get me anywhere. In fact, it got me into a load of shit, to be honest. So no matter how hard you work for someone or whatever, you're going to still be in that rat race. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You're not, it's not security. You think, opening
No.
your business or becoming a day trader is security is not secure, but the company you work for, they could go out of business, they could downsize, you can get fired.
Lose your job.
So is there really security there?
Yeah. You just got to look at the world today, haven't you? It's a fragile world with business. Everything's going under. COVID smashed loads of businesses over here in UK. Loads of people lost their jobs. People on their arse, right?
Right.
But
While we're flourishing.
But there are people that choose to sit on their arse, but there are people out there that will fight, like I did. Like I had to fight, to get to where I want to get to.
There's a lot of people here that were getting unemployment with COVID, and now it's getting cut off. And a lot of these people didn't get jobs or don't want to get jobs. And there's actually so many open jobs out here in the States where people just don't want to work, or they're like, I can make more money sitting at home on the couch.
I can tell you something. The thing with the UK is it relies on big businesses. Okay. There was a company called Rover. And whoever's from the UK will know this, will remember this. Rover, big car factory, a bit like, Range Rover, Land Rover and stuff. Anyway, the owners went on a business meeting with some Chinese dudes. The Chinese dudes got the English owners drunk and signed the company over to the Chinese dudes. Chinese dudes put the business up. Now, it was something, I think, don't quote me on this, it was something like 10,000 jobs were in my area just went overnight. But it's not just the Rover, it was the manufacturers who manufactured a wheel for Rover. It was the news agents that relied on the staff to buy newspapers and food, and everything around that area collapsed. And there was a lot of people out of work. And that's what I'm saying. Even the biggest companies you work for could go under.
Yep.
And that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah. So many of these companies, especially with online stuff. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And I remember I just started my business. I had no work because nobody had any money in my area. Yeah. Every area has one big business that serves everything, doesn't it? It thrives the community. And this one business went pop. Oh my God, did it go pop? In fact, if you read up about Rover, it probably put the UK into recession. It was that big. The company was that big.
It sounds like the automobile industry in the States and the Midwest, like Detroit specifically.
Yeah, Detroit had the same thing, didn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm saying is going back to Forex, learn the Forex. It can't collapse unless it does collapse, which I doubt very much, to be honest. They ain't going to collapse the $6.5 trillion business a day business. They're not going to do it. You know,
But
it may go,
like we said, we can move over to
yeah,
whatever the next thing is. You can do the same way you
exactly.
trade gold and AUD USD and EuroCAD. You can
Yeah.
trade Bitcoin. You can trade
Yeah.
whatever. It's the same
That's
thing.
it. We just move with the flow, right? We all know that dollar's going to go digital, but I don't think it's going to change much.
And we
Well,
know that the powers that be, the wealthy, will continue to manipulate the market to extract value, extract currency from the masses. So we just hitching a ride.
Of course, absolutely. So the way I see it, I've got a job for life. I can earn really a substantial amount of money,
right,
and enjoy my life. And you know what? I look out my window, I see everyone getting in their cars, going to work. The same guy in my street, dude, he comes back exactly the same time. He looks worn out, he looks tired. And I think, nah, I don't want that. You know, he's probably got a very happy life, but that's a boring life, as far as I'm concerned. You know, when he comes home, we're out go-karting, having fun. You know, stuff like that he can't do because he's home at 6:30. He's having his tea. He's sat down. He's too tired to do anything. He goes to bed, gets back up for work in the morning, and it's just like a Groundhog Day. No.
Yeah, what I say to those people, you're gonna have to push through, and you got to keep that job, and you have kids, but you're gonna need to say, you know what, no telly tonight, no hanky panky with the missus. I got to get on these charts, or I gotta, do this course so I can open my small business, or whatever it is you want to do. Like, if you're in that position, this is for you. Like, you don't necessarily need to just give up or quit your job or go to the dark. Just find a way. Find a way, even if it's a way.
Exactly. There's two types of people in this world. There's one where they'll just put up with it. And there's another person like me, like yourself, like Human, Dylan, who were like, no way, man. That ain't me. I ain't doing that. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Take these shots on ourselves, and we take risk, but it's calculated risk, and it's a game where we actually love risk, and that's why I love leverage trading, because it's it's such a powerful tool.
Yeah, I agree. So that's where I'm at the minute. I'm at a point in trading at the minute where I'm looking to go to that next level. Who knows? I'm just taking a day at a time, just enjoying it, loving life, doing what I want, no pressure. And most importantly, I've got money in the bank where I ain't got to worry. That's the difference in life, isn't it?
Yep. Everyone good, family good.
Come Christmas, come the birthdays, we've got money in the bank that can pay for it.
You don't got to worry about how you're going to pay your mortgage, or you don't got to worry about hiding, pink notices in the glove box. Like, that is no way to live at all.
I remember, I'm just a little throwback here, my business. I remember, we didn't have much money, and my kids are born on the same day, but they're 4 years apart. So the 15th of October, which is this month, is a very expensive month. 2 birthdays in one day. I remember I had to work a couple of weekends just to get some cash together so we could, pay for the things for our kids. But that's what we do as parents, don't we? We work damn hard for our kids. That's what we do. But now it's a bit like, I've got money in the bank. I ain't going to work that weekend. I can spend that weekend with my family, or go out with my friends, or do what I like,
Right.
I think life doesn't give us that socialism that we thrive and we want, because the governments just want to nail you all the time for tax, for this, for that, for this, for that, and we end up working and working and working just to pay that bill. No, not for me. And if you want that good life, you have to get off your ass and just work hard and back
And
test.
I mean, we have choices because
yes,
we, as, people in the Western world, our disposable income, like, it's, if you think back to like a third world country, the things we take for granted, even in your story where you said the family went to the beach and I could only afford the meals for the kid, there's still a privilege in that, and it's, so we are at an advantage. We have opportunities. I know me, before I learned how to stop wasting my money, I was check to check. I remember I spent all my money on some shoes, like 100% of my income. And I used like a line of credit to buy shoes, and just thinking about like how irresponsible I was. But, I felt like a victim, and, my job doesn't pay me enough. But, if I was smart, I could have, instead of trying to buy those shoes, I could have bought, Bitcoin or invested in anything. And I know it sounds small and it's like, oh, I'm starting with $100. But I will tell you, I turned a couple $100 to, a 30 grand crypto account, just for full discretion. And that was simply just putting in 100 a week when I had it. So just never take your level for granted, and just understand like the opportunities within your circumstance, just like you did when you were switching jobs, when you decided to start your business, when you took advantage of the boot camp. You could have easily that, let's just go out, let's just do this. So you really had to take that chance on yourself.
Yeah, and like I say, the boot camp was the last chance saloon. If that didn't work, that was it for me. I was set in my mind, if this doesn't work, I'm done with Forex. I will never go back to it. That's my attitude. That's the way I look at stuff. Once I tell myself something, that's it. I'm done. You probably noticed that in this interview. I'm a bit like that. If it's not floating my boat, no, I'm out of here. And I'll find something else that could possibly give me that life that I've craved, if you like, that we all crave, sorry, not just me, but we all crave, that comfortable life. And like going back from the very start, I'm not bothered about being a millionaire. As long as I'm comfortable, I'm happy, more than happy. And I think, we need to never forget that as human beings, because people get into a position of good wealth and it changes that person. I know people that have come into money and they've turned into arseholes, that, and they're people that I don't want to associate myself with them. But that's something that will never happen to me.
Neil, I got news for you. They were assholes before the money. The money just made them more of who they were.
Yeah, you're probably right there. but it amazes me how much money changes people.
Yep, for the better or for the worse. So,
sometimes the worse, and sometimes the better. A bit like my daughter. A little bit of the worst, but I think you got to shake them a little bit and say, "Look, man, you need."
Well, that's just part of. I look at it like a superpower, and it's just like you're getting used to your powers. You're like, oh, I can blow up buildings and stuff. But it's like, I don't blow up buildings. Just wait for the bad guys, But
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so this is going pretty. I think this has to be our longest interview.
Oh, is it? Oh, cool.
Definitely, and I loved it because time just kind of flew away. I had maybe 40 questions written down to kind of pull from, but I maybe asked you 3. So this has been an incredible conversation, I should say. But I do have one question for you, and it's the question we kind of like to end the show on. And that question is, Neo, what does winning at life mean to you?
Winning at life for me, it means everything. It means everything. Winning at life, beating that obstacle course, it's amazing. It's amazing. Best feeling ever. Best feeling ever, honestly. Yeah, without a doubt. Apart from my kids being born. But no. Winning at life is ace. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's what it's about. Overcoming that adversity or getting past that obstacle that was in your way that you may have set for yourself.
Well,
And
that's it.
that's what success is.
I had that obstacle for over 20 years. That's the way I look at it. And now, you pass that, you're looking back at that and going, I ain't going back there.
Nope.
I'm going to win life. And that's what it's about, isn't it? So
Yeah. You just kind of got to go back there to humble yourself. Like now I live in a big condo, and sometimes we just go on the other side of the tracks, literally and figuratively, and we see like the homeless and, maybe give them some money, and the people with mental illness on the street. And it's very humbling. But then I come back to my gentrified, beautiful community. And we were talking to Human last week, and he mentioned how he used to have to pick up cigarette butts at this gas station when he first moved to the States, and how now he goes to that same gas station in his Beamer and sits there and smokes and he probably throws it down for the next
throws them on the floor. But there is something that I keep as a memory, in my bad life, if you like, my bad financial past, is the motorcyclist who delivered the documents for the repossession of my home. Do you know, I've never opened it.
Wow. You still kept it?
I still kept it, and it's still in my cupboard at home. Right.
That's a reminder.
And I do get it out sometimes, and it's never been opened. Mate, I'll take a photo of it and I'll send it to you. Never opened it. The candle wax has never been broken. And I look at that, and that strives me, never to go back to that situation ever again, because that situation is bad. That's a bad situation that you don't want to be going back to. So yeah, we kept that. We never opened it because we only opened the letter that come with it. I was too scared to open it back then, and I don't think. Do you know? I don't think I'd like to open it. I'll be honest. Yeah, I don't think I would.
Yeah, I'd probably burn it.
Maybe one day. But you know what? It's still a stark reminder of how you could fall hard. Yeah. Where you could be up high and you can fall hard. They say, don't they, that the bigger the fall, the harder you
the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Exactly. Right. That's the one.
Right.
And yeah.
And we have cautionary tales like the Jesse Livermore, you know about him, right?
Livermore? Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
He was like, one of the greatest traders, made $1 billion, lost it, made it back. But you know how his story ended was he committed suicide. So that's a cautionary tale for us all. Not to take it there, guys, but you can lose it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. I guess we're going to end it on that note.
Cool.
Do you have anything you want to, add or leave us with, or, anything you want people to check out you got coming up?
Yeah. So we got GPG UK coming up. It will be soon, but I'm in no rush. And that's not being big-headed or anything like that. We're in no rush because we believe the product really does work, and it does work. And when it does, I'm just going to love people smashing the markets, taking money out the markets. There's nothing more satisfying than that. And that's it, really. We're just taking it easy.
Awesome.
That's what we do. Yeah. But it'll be out soon. The Winlife, as I say. Winlife.
Yes, sir. All right. Thanks. So this has been an amazing hour and a half, amazing interview. And I just want to thank you, Neo, for sharing your story, sharing your insight and kind of what goes on in your brain and what makes you tick and what you're thinking in these times of duress, adversity, of joy, success. I think these stories are just going to be so helpful to others, and others will be able to identify with them, find a little of themselves in your story, and hopefully improve on themselves, improve their quality of life, their level of happiness, and their financial status.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's, some sort of inspiration for someone out there. You just got to keep going, man. I know it's hard. It's going to be hard. Just keep going. There is light at the end of the tunnel.
That's always my advice is, if I could leave one statement or one advice, it's always just to never give up. So I think
Yeah.
we share that.
No, I agree. Absolutely.
Awesome. So that about does it for this episode of the Winlife podcast. Once again, we'd love to have you here, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for
man.
joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Later.
See ya.